Wild Florida Adventure Park has a drive-thru safari, airboat rides, and a gator park. It's located on Cypress Lake in Keansville, Florida, a short drive from Orlando. It is free to get into the park if you book an airboat ride or an animal encounter. Otherwise, it's about $10. Or we had gotten a Groupon for $15 per person that included a meal and gator feed. Check-in is inside their gift shop where there was an albino gator. Inside the park, there were lots of animals, including reptiles like crocodiles and alligators. The alligators were waiting to be fed, and they have a gator show. We were there for the lemur encounter, and they had several types of lemurs. They also had birds you could feed. They had a petting zoo and other animals, including capybaras, which you could also book an encounter for. But the lemurs were a big hit, and they had several kinds of them. They also had lots of birds. The animals were out and active. The animals were well taken care of, and there was staff there feeding them and cleaning up after them the entire time we were there. There were a lot of field trips coming through the park while we were there because it's a perfect park for kids of all ages, but especially young children. There's a lot for them to look at there. And most of the park was in the shade, and it's basically a big loop around with some offshoots to do different activities like walk on the boardwalk and feed the birds, feed the gators, and go into the petting zoo area. It's also a lot more affordable than other attractions in the area. So if you're thinking about taking your young children or children of any age to a park, this is really the most affordable attraction in the area. Wild Florida Adventure Park is a great value for the money. It's definitely worth it. There's a lot for everyone to look at and to do. Some of the Florida attractions are more expensive and they're not worth it, but this one really is. And everything is in a location that is easy to access. So if you are going to the park, the airboat rides are right there, and then the safari ride is right next to the park. And parking is free, so it is well worth it. They have a little taste of Florida with the boardwalk here. Since it had been very dry this winter, you can see the water line right there. Wild Florida feels more natural and less commercial than other parks nearby. It's less crowded and more focused on wildlife and conservation. It is actually on the headwaters of the Florida Everglades, and it gives you a little exposure to the environment of the Florida Everglades and the area. And it is much more affordable than other parks in the area. And we were really there for the animal encounters, and we're surprised with how well the park was kept and the educational aspects of the park. The animal encounter was well worth it. It was $45 for about 20 minutes with the lemurs. We got to hand feed them, and it was an experience really like no other. I don't know of any other parks that do anything similar to this, where you actually get to be in a room with lemurs. If you want to find out more about our lemur encounter, I have other videos you can check out, but all of the attractions at Wild Florida were well worth it. So it is well worth a visit if you're in the area.